Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. Looking at the NBA on Saturday. Got 5 games here to look at. Got a few bets down on the card that I want to share with you guys and some leans that we'll be going over again on the live show at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, as we're going early on Saturdays, 1 hour earlier than the normal time. Also asked you guys yesterday to jump in the comments and give me the leading scorer of the night. It was Anthony Edwards with 37 points. So I'm going to be going through those comments for the live show from the video yesterday. I'll be putting out the winners on the live show. Get that $100 out to whomever does win that raffle. So let's get into everything I've got now. If that all sounds good, give this video a like. Make sure to subscribe to that page. And let's get it. A push on the night here. 6-6, lost 0.1 units on the VIG there, but a nice plus 114 bet on Isaiah Hartenstein helped us maintain those the profit there and not lose too much on the VIG. Really, this came down to a couple bounces here and there, and we would have had a very, very nice night, probably back-to-back plus 3 unit nights. The ones in the misses there that hurt. Jared Allen came out with 10 points in the third quarter of a nasty blowout. Obviously, the Cavs took care of the Knicks there. Santi missed 2 free throws with 9 points. He had 9 points, needed the 2 free throws at the end. Another poor shooting performance. Not going to go away from Santi. He's still an awesome bet, especially when Ja's out there. We know how well he plays with him. All-Star Thompson, another tough beat there. Had 19 with going into the fourth quarter. This game was also a blowout for Detroit. They ended up winning pretty handily and didn't have to worry about too much, which is why Chris Paul didn't do shit either. And this was a game for De'Aaron Fox. Going down the line here, Chris Paul should have stuck with Fox. It was one of the two of them because that's how you beat Detroit. We knew that. I love the fact that Paul only had the 8.5, 9 points. Playing without Wemby this season, he's been incredible, but he's going to slowly start to get phased out, and it was a back-to-back for Chris Paul, so not the best look, but lost half a unit on PJ Washington on the double-double there. That would have been a nice plus 130, but he only had 7 boards, didn't really rebound in the first half, but we did hit his points and rebounds bet because he scored a ton last night. And then Jimmy Butler didn't have to do much in the second half. He had 3 boards at the half, and then that was a blowout as well for the Kings, for the Dubs over the Kings, who just smacked them. So we'll take a push on the night here. We'll look to get a little bit better. There's only 5 games today, got a bunch tomorrow, but I do want to give you guys a chance to jump into the VIP for a free month. If you're interested, you can get a free month by signing up for any of the books that you see. They're all listed right underneath me. They're also all in the description of the video. So sign up for any of these books using code LYB that you see there. That'll get you all the free bonus bets and free money that you want. And then you can also get a free month if you send me a screenshot at JLBoogie on Twitter or Discord. And once you send me that proof that you signed up using code LYB, I'll go ahead and get you that free month in the VIP section of the Discord. But let's go ahead and jump into everything we have here for Saturday. As always, going to be using Props Madness here to get the best value and find these best bets. You can sign up for this using code LYB. Get yourself a free 7-day trial to use this platform and 25% off your first month if you are interested in using it. Best platform around. I promise you, Pips has done an incredible job. One thing I can show you too, that we just added an assist map for this man. So if you look at assists for each player, you can go down to this shot chart right here. And it's actually an assist chart. You can see where guys like Kobe White in this instance are getting their assists against the other team. Really, really helpful. You can see 30% of his assists are coming at the rim. And in this game today for them against Phoenix, that might not be the most successful route, right? They're number 1 limiting points at the rim. That's where he's getting the majority of his assists. So just something to consider. Really awesome stuff here from Pips and Props Madness on the assist chart. Wanted to make sure you guys knew about it. As we look at the first game here, Phoenix at Chicago, both teams struggling, going in the wrong direction. I will say that. Although the Bulls almost handled the Knicks there, they lost an OT. The play that I'm looking at right now is we have a questionable tag for Ayo Dosunmu. And if that is the case, then I've got to go right to Josh Giddey rebounds, right? This is something I've noticed a couple of times this season already. If you look at Josh Giddey rebounds, he's averaging 7.3 on the season. If you take Ayo Dosunmu out of the game, in the 10 games he's played without Ayo, he's gone over 8 times, and that average goes up to 10.2 rebounds per game. The thing that really jumps out to me too is when I'm using Fantasy Labs on-off court stuff, you can see that when Josh Giddey's on the court, Ayo Dosunmu is off court. Josh Giddey's at about 11.5 rebounds per 36 minutes. And he should be at about 32, 35 in that range minutes tonight here, as he's just going to get a ton of time when Io is out. And look, this team isn't really trying anymore, let's be honest, but Josh Giddey is a guy that they know that they can keep on the floor and probably has a future with this team if they can build starting next year, I'll say. He's still young enough. So I know they're going to continue to play him minutes, and I love his rebounds when he's playing without Io. This is the dude who eats into his boards, but they have no Pat Williams, and if Io DeSumo is out, this is going to be a very nice rebounding game for Josh Giddey. Potentially a double-double play here. This is something we'll be talking about on the live show at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays. Other bet that I like for this game, it's about time that we talk about Nick Richards on the center for the Suns here and going under for him, taking the whole kit and caboodle here on the PRA. Under, if you can get this at 16.5, this is still available 16.5 on a good amount of books. That's where I would go on the under, up to like minus 125 or so, the odds that you can take here for an under on Nick Richards. You look at what he's done when he's been here. He's played 15 games. He's only gone over in 6 of them. And yes, he's averaging 18.7 PRA. But let's do this. Let's put Kevin Durant on the floor or in the game, Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. Let's make sure all 3 of those guys are playing. 8 games that he's played now with those guys out there. The 40 points in the PRA game that he had against Washington, I'm going to let that one slide. I mean, I know the Bulls are no strong hold on defense here, but they're going to be at least a little bit better than the Wizards. And I don't think he's getting 34 minutes anymore. We basically saw last night when they, 2 nights ago rather, when they played the Spurs, he got 9 minutes all in the first half. Didn't start the second half and didn't play much at all. I don't think he played at all in the second half. They're looking at Bol. They're trying to get him minutes. This is a perfect matchup for Bol against a Chicago team that plays very fast with a ton of transition. And that's where you love Bol to take advantage of his long versatility and the ability to play in transition as well. Not something Nick Richards can do. And you don't need to worry about rebounding. This is the actual worst rebounding team in the league for the Bulls. I believe they're allowing the second most now, rebounds per game to their opponent. So it's not like you have to worry about getting boards and leaving Nick Richards in there, which is the only thing that he can do, by the way. And if you wanted to just take the points and assists, you can see that's even better. He's at 7.9 points and assists per game with these guys playing. And again, the only times he's had good games was against the Wizards and a nice win against a struggling Warriors team before they got Jimmy Butler in-house and they won by 25 there. So yeah, Nick Richards is a great fade in this one. We're going to be going under for him. Let's see if we can keep the 16.5 PRA, something we'll go back over on the live show. Before we get into Brooklyn and Philly, reminder, live shows at 4:30 p.m. Eastern today. This is going to be the last day where we don't have memberships live. So if you do want to get memberships in on the memberships here, it's $5 a month. The benefit is going to be that you guys are going to get your bets looked at on the show. There's just a ton of bets coming in on the live show these days. Got to figure out how to prioritize which looks are coming in from which members. So if you do want to become a member, you can sign up for $5 a month on YouTube, get yourself all the unique icons and badges and sort of emojis that you can use in the chat to help yourself stand out. And then live show producer David and myself will be focusing on the member comments and the bets that they want to look at. So if you want to make sure that you get your bet looked at on the live show, go ahead and jump into those memberships. And starting on Monday, you will be at the front of the line to make sure you get everything you want to look at looked at. As we get into Nets and 76ers, the look I've got here is for Joel Embiid, but I want to be very clear. This total is at 212. This is going to be a low-scoring, choppy, disgusting game. I think the Nets have gone under 100 points now in like 3 straight games. This is not a good offense, but they have been the #1 defense in the league over the last 10 or 11 games for Brooklyn. So this is not going to be a high-scoring affair where you want to take a bunch of overs. This is going to be a tough game for guys like Tyrese Maxey, because if you look at this above-the-break defense for this team, they're 4th best, limiting points above the break for the Nets. They're #1, limiting pick-and-roll ball handler points. So they play very good pressure defense above the break, which is why you go to a guy like Joel. And he has dominated this team because he dominates Nick Claxton, and Noah Clowney's not going to be out there. He's going to get some Day'Ron Sharpe minutes against him. He's going to have a pretty good game. I got to plan on that for him. So you can see in the last game, 28 points in that one, also had 6 dimes, also had 12 boards. And in this game where there's not going to be a lot of points, and I don't really want to bank on having to figure out which of these guys are going to score or whatever, I'm just going for the boards for this man, for Joel. So 9.5 is still live. And you can see this is probably going to get to 10.5. I'm not positive, but you're not going to get great juice. Either way, I'm willing to take this at 9.5 for him, all the way up to like minus 135 on the rebounds. The Nets, they're not a horrible rebounding team. I mean, they're 8th in terms of rebounds allowed, but that's mostly because they don't play fast. So there's not a lot of possessions. So there's fewer rebounds, right? But at the same time, there's not a very good rebound percentage for the Nets, right? So the percentage of rebounds that they're getting, very low. Joel should be able to handle, I should say, Nick Claxton, who plays mostly around the basket. Like Nick Claxton doesn't leave the painted area, which is a reason that Joel can kind of stick to the basket area and not get pulled too far away on defense. That allows him to get the rebounds against a team like Brooklyn, who does not have a stretch big of any kind. So that's a big reason why Joel is so close to the basket and able to get those boards against this team. One more look here is going to be from this Lakers and Nuggets game, and I'm going over to Rui Hachimura. I'm actually just going to go for his rebounds. If we can get these at 4.5, and I know there's still a couple, so -120 on Bet365 for Rui to get 4.5 rebounds, and he has been a rebounding machine since basically the trades, right? So we can see here that it's basically been the last roughly like 7 games for him. If we see since the trade happened for Luka, it's right here. And in the first game with Luka, 15 rebound chances in 39 minutes. And this was Luka not playing, but this was since the trade, right? Against the Dubs, only had the 4 rebounds, but 15 rebound chances. And then you can see the numbers here in these other games, these other 5 right here. Only one bad rebounding game where they lost by 12 in that Utah Jazz game. That was really, really bad right before the break, as we know. Still a shell of themselves. But in every game that's been like a lot more legit, where they lost by 3 to Charlotte, not legit in the sense that it was a good game for them, but we know Rui's going to be out there for about 35 plus minutes now. They don't have another 4 option, right? They don't have a guy that they can really bring in alongside him. Jared Vanderbilt's playing small ball 5 behind Jackson Hayes. You've got Alex Len coming in, which is ugly. Rui Hachimura is still going to be sort of the one dude that's going to stay on the floor and expected to do a lot more of the dirty work when he's playing with Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Right now, his job is a lot less make sure you get your shots up. It's a lot more make your open shots, but go crash the boards and help out with the, like I said, the sort of the nasty work that you need to help out with. So that's why I like Rui's boards moving forward. 4.5 is going to be beatable. I would not take this at 5, but I'd take 4.5 down to like -125 on the odds. All right, hope to see you guys at 4:30 p.m. Eastern today so we can run over these games. We should have a game starting about 30 minutes after this one, that first tip there with Chicago and Phoenix. So we'll make sure to get through that stuff first, and then we'll get into the other stuff here on the live show. And if you do want to become a member, make sure you do that before Monday so you get those bets looked at. If you do want to jump in the comments and have us audit the stuff you're looking at, make sure you jump into that memberships here. Very easy on the homepage there on YouTube. So best of luck in everything you guys are doing before I see you later. And until then, happy betting.